third reason why disabled people need to roll away from the Democrat Party has to do with the bigotry and prejudices that are put on disabled people by the liberal media, liberal Hollywood, and Democrats. And we're going to go into a couple different ways that can work out. The first way is, let's look at a highly democratic city, New York, for example, run by Mayor de Blasio, and most of all the elected officials there are Democratic. But out of 1,066 curb cuts that are south of 14th Street, 806 of them are not handicap accessible, almost 80%. Of the 473 subway platforms in New York City, 24% of them are accessible to the handicapped population. Of 13,500 yellow taxi cabs, only 15% of them are handicap accessible. And for the accessoride feature that is supposed to bridge that gap for disabled people to find transportation in New York, the average ride costs $56. So we're asking disabled people to get out there and work, but we're not providing them the infrastructure or the means for them to be able to do it. In what is hailed as the fairest city in America, they sure are unfair to disabled people. And that's led to a 77% unemployment rate for disabled people in New York City. This has led Democrats to put unfair excuses on the disabled people as to why they can't work. And those excuses are not something that the disabled community asks for. Those excuses are assumptions of the disabled community and what the disabled community can do. The same can be said for liberal Hollywood and media. If you look at the top 100 movies in 2017, only 2.5% of the characters in those top 100 movies portrayed a disability. And of those 2.5% of characters, 86% of them were supporting or non-insequential roles. So disability already isn't being portrayed fairly, or not fairly, but adequately in Hollywood. And there's a severe lack of characters that any of us are able or willing to see on our television screens. But what's even worse is that 95% of those characters that are portrayed with a disability are played by a person that doesn't even have a disability.
Yes. Sorry.
It's the same thing as having blackface back in the 1920s. You're telling a group of people, a group of disabled people, that you're not good enough to play the role that we have made that is you. You are devaluing the talent that all disabled people carry when you tell them that you can't portray yourself, so we're going to give this to an able-bodied person. And that's something that we need to change.